how you'd be listening to music, just hearing some regular old good sounding chords. Just minding your business, enjoying a song. Everything's in the key. And then all of a sudden, you get struck by something kind of makes you feel a certain way. Like you just want to stare out an airplane window. Call your high school girlfriend. Those kind of chords. You know what I mean? Well, that's all we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about modal interchange, borrowing from different minor chords, minor modes. We're also going to be playing the Kush chord game today, which is related, but a different framework. All of this in order for us to feel a certain way, to get us out of the happy feeling of just major key harmony, right? To get us in that staring out the window on a rainy day feeling. And I'm here for it. My name is Adam Manis. Thank you so much for joining me today. These are... Why do these chords make me feel a certain way? Because they do. They make me feel a certain way. We're talking about modal interchange. We're talking about borrowing from the major and the minor against the major and the minor. We're talking about the Kush chord game where we're moving keys to these keys that make us feel some kind of way. It's what music is all about. It's not just mathematics and showing off. It's more about connecting with people to some places that we just can't get to any other way. Music is the direct way to those places. And for my money, these kinds of chords are the ways that I get to some deep parts of what I'm feeling that I can't explain any other way. So I'm very happy to be sharing this with you today. One of my favorite things to talk about. So just a couple of notes here. There is a PDF. You're going to want to download that PDF. It's in the description. And while you're at it, you might as well like and subscribe if you dig these kind of videos. We like making them, and we like making them with you and for you. So if you hit the like, if you hit the subscribe, you will be in the know about when these things happen. Also, again, just to remind you, we're talking about why do these chords make me feel. This is brought to you by Open Studio. Go to openstudiojazz.com and start your free trial today. Again, there's a link in the description if you want to try the free trial. It's free. It's free $99, and you can check out everything we do at Open Studio for 14 days. Grab your PDF. So here's what we're doing today. Here's what we'll be working on. So we're going to be talking about why do I feel like this? It's not going to be a therapy session, but it's going to be close. And then we're going to talk about using three modes in modal interchange and why we might choose different modes and what they do for us. And then we're going to be talking about the Kush chord game, which is a little cheeky name that I made up for a way to frame modal interchange that's a little different than you might have been taught in your music theory 1B class. That's going to be our work for today. We have our metronome. Our metronome is based off of the beat Peter Erskine played on the live performance of The Chicken, Jocko's live birthday show. And so that's what we're hearing today. Slowed down a bit is the great Peter Erskine keeping time for us. So let's get to work. Let's look at what we're going to be working on today. We're going to start here with some basic modal interchange. And modal interchange, so you know, is a way to borrow from other keys, essentially. But it's keys that are, we're still keeping the sort of home key as our basis, but we're changing the mode that we're using. So instead of a C major mode, we'll use a C minor mode, and then we'll go back to C major. We'll just step out of the key and come back. It's a great way that composers and improvisers use to step out. Now, why do we feel a certain way with these chords, specifically with modal interchange with minor modes, right? It's because we're borrowing here from quote unquote darker sounding keys, right? So we have our C major here, and I've got this beautiful Rhodes sound. Shout out to Keyscape. Right? When we borrow from modes of C minor, right? That's a sadder, darker sound. And then we go back to C major. It brings us this hope, right? This ray of sunshine, but you can't have that ray of sunshine through the clouds without creating some clouds. So you can think of borrowing from these minor modes as like putting some clouds in your painting so that it's not just all this bright, beautiful, sunny field all the time with daisies. We've got some real issues on the horizon, some trouble brewing up, but we're gonna bring it back once we start that trouble. So that's why we feel this way. Some artists, there's loads of artists that use all kinds of modal interchange from the very beginning. Debussy's Clair de Lune uses a ton of modal interchange, but it's also used by, more modern artists like Stevie Wonder and Radiohead and Kanye, and like all these folks use this specific color to get something out of our emotional reservoir that can't be reached any other way. Honestly, it's like the most direct way that you can reach this. So I love working on this. Let's look at what we're talking about technically when we talk about modal interchange. So here we have a basic chord progression in the key of C, right? This is just the root C, and then we have the 1 over the 3. This is just an inversion with the E in the bass, yeah? We have an F major, and I'm going to use some 7th chords on this. Got my beautiful Rhodes sound. Then we have the 5 chord G. Right, this is all in the key of C, just a 1, the 1 with a 3rd in the bass, the 4 chord, and the 5. Very, very simple. Now, the most common way that people use modal interchange is to the relative minor. So we're going to make a note here just out of the start. Every single one of our first chords of today's practice sessions is C major, from the key of C major. This is like our home base, right? We can't have interchange unless there's something to change out of. So as we do our first bit of modal interchange, if we look at our second line down here, right, we're going to start in that C major, and then immediately we're going to borrow to C Aeolian. This is also known as the relative minor, right? This is borrowing from the 6th mode of the key of E flat, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But now everything, we're going to do the same chord progression. 1 with a 3rd in the bass, 4 and 5, but the last 3 chords, everything except for the tonic C major, is going to be borrowed from the C Aeolian, right? The C Aeolian are all the notes of C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, and B flat, right? That's that 6th mode of E flat minor, the natural minor of key of E flat. So all of these chords are going to be based off of that key, right? So let's play here. Let's just start with our very basic, our top line, and then we're going to get into our second line from the top, and you're going to hear the difference with a similar chord progression. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, and... Our 5 chord. Let's do that one more time, just the basic. All right, let's do our second line down. Now we're going to do that parallel minor, right? That C minor. Aeolian, though. It's very specific. Feel those clouds coming in, those storm clouds coming in. So that is our modal interchange. Isn't that beautiful? And then notice, of course, we've got our C major always kicking it off there to do that first measure in C major. It's incredible. Isn't it incredible? I'm going to turn down my tremolo a little bit here because it's bugging me. So we've got that C major, and then we have what we could call the parallel minor. I'm always bugged by this parallel minor idea, though, because there are so many different minors that we can use, and a minor key is not just Aeolian. And that's where we're going to get down to our third line from the top, right? So if we look at our third line, we're going to use another parallel minor, but instead of that natural minor from the key of E flat, we're going to use the C Dorian. So this is the second degree of B flat major, right? The second mode of B flat major. And this changes things because it's one note difference. Instead of an A flat, there's an A natural, right? We're not in the key of E flat, we're in the key of B flat. And it's a whole different vibe. Let's try our third line. You can hear the difference here. Now there's an F dominant 7 instead of an F minor 7. Check that. 1, 2, 3, and the third line from the top. It's a whole different feeling. And again, this is just an incredible way to write music, to write chord progressions, to change things up. That C major, it hits so hard when we get back to it. Isn't that great? All right. Now there's one more mode that I want to talk about, and it's the Phrygian mode. The Phrygian mode is the third mode of a major scale, and we want to use the C Phrygian, which is the third mode of A flat major, right? So this is now we have a D flat in the mix and an A flat in the mix. It's a whole different vibe here with that D flat. Our first example on this chord progression, it's not my favorite, but wait till we get to a couple of the other things we're going to be talking about today, because the Phrygian slaps so hard. Try it again. Fourth line. 1, 2, 3, and. Nothing much changes here between those keys here. Now we get to our 5 chord, right? That G minor 7 flat 5, right? Just to stop here. That's that 7th, in the key of A flat, right? That would be all of these notes, right? C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat, and B flat, right? The third mode of A flat major. We got that D flat for the first time. Let's try it one more time. So I get so excited. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and. We got our G minor 7. It's okay. Well, this is going to get good though here. Just a second. The Phrygian. You got to get specific on it. All right. Let's go back up to the top. Top line. So this is our basic chord progression in C major. I'm using a sus on that G sometimes because I like that. It's still a dominant chord though. Top line still. All right, let's hear it with that parallel minor, the Aeolian. Second line. Already we're feeling something, right? Let's do that again. Always with the C major and the tonic there. Let's do the third line with the C Dorian, right? Borrowed from the key of B flat. F dominant 7 is the only difference, but it's a big difference between the minor, right? So our fourth line using the C Phrygian, right? That third mode of A flat major. D flat in there. One more time there. Going back to the C major always to bring it home to the key. And again, this is such a great way to be able to come up with new ideas for harmony and chord progressions. And if I frame it as like, okay, I'm going to be in that Phrygian mode here, then even as I'm doing like connector notes, like if I've got my C minor over E flat in the Phrygian going to F minor, I'm going to put some D flats in there to imply that Phrygian sound. Isn't that cool? It's such a great way. That's the sort of the basics of modal interchange. And we're not just using the sort of parallel minor of the C Aeolian, but you can use the C Dorian, you could use the C Phrygian, you could use the C Locrian, you can use any number of modes that you'd like to use. The melodic minor, the harmonic minor, all fair game. Okay, let's go to our next exercise here. So we're going to be using the same modes exactly on this same exact chord progression, but now we're going to play the Kush chord games. Now, this is a game that I like to frame. It's a different way of thinking about modal interchange. It's technically still modal interchange, but we're not changing out the sort of the 3 chord or like, let's say the 4 chord in C, right? If we were changing this out between the C major to like that C Aeolian, that C natural minor, right? That'd be an F minor. We're not changing out the 4 and now it's a 4 in C minor. We're changing out the 4 of C major to the 4 of the parent of the Aeolian. So this is just a different way to frame it. But what I love about this is it gets us new ideas to move the root movement around. So I'm not thinking about the 4 of C minor. I'm thinking about the 4 of E flat major. That's the parent key of C Aeolian, right? C Aeolian, that natural minor, that's the 6th mode of E flat. So the way that I love to frame this Kush chord game, again, it's just modal interchange. It's a different way to frame it so you get different ideas. It's just an idea generator. Is I have my tonic C major, and then everything except for the tonic, it gets moved up to the key of E flat. So in this case, up a minor third. So our C over E, right? Our 1 over 3, we do that in the key of E flat. So it's E flat over G. Our F chord, our 4 chord in the key of C, we move that up to A flat major 7. Our 5 chord, G7, G dominant 7, we move that up to B flat, right? So we're just shifting everything up to E flat. And it's a different thing. That's not now just that straight modal interchange where the 4 is just minor because it's the C Aeolian. We're actually just moving the root. I love this because it keeps something like this chord progression's root movement intact, except that we're shifting it up. Listen to this. So let's play our first progression here, and then we'll do the second one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and just our basic chord progression in C. Do it again, just so we can get it in our ear. All right, let's do our second line here. This is our first bit of Kush chords to the key of E flat. Isn't that great? You can still hear that movement. Now back to the C. That's where it really pays off, when you go back to the C. E flat over G. Now we can do this for all the other modes, right? So remember our Dorian? That's the second mode of B flat. Let's do it in B flat major, third line. Just a great way to get ideas. Here's our 4 chord, our 5 chord. Right? Just moving it to B flat. Isn't that great? Let's do the Phrygian, the 4th line. So now we're just borrowing from the key of A flat. Check this out. Phrygian for the win here. Radiohead, anybody? From the top. Let's do it all again so you can hear it. Here's our 1 over 3, C over E, our 4 chord, and our 5 chord. Let's do our second line. Here's our 1 over 3, but in E flat. Our 4 chord in the key of E flat, and our 5 chord. Let's do our third line, key of B flat. 1. Here's our 1 over 3, but in the key of B flat. And our 4th line, the Phrygian, this is so killing this one. You know what I mean? Come on. That's good stuff there. And so I just want to just note that our first example of modal interchange, we used the exact same chord progression, and we got 3 different chord progressions than we have here. So just by playing these different games, you can come up with 6 different kind of chord progressions, all off of, if I might say very frankly here, is a fairly obvious and boring chord progression. The 1 over the 3, the 4, the 5, very, generic. But what we can do with modal interchange and then this Kush chord framework, where we're just really transposing to the parents of the C minor chords, I think it's so much fun. Let's try a different chord progression. I want to do one more chord progression here. And and by the way, just saying, if you're liking what you see, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can do that right now, and it'll help spread the word. We appreciate it. Let's try, again, going back here. Let's do a different chord progression. We're going to do these same kind of things here. So here's another very simple chord progression in C, right? Let's just try the top line here. Here we go. 1, 2, play with me. 3, and. We have the 1, now we have the 2, D minor 7. The 6 chord, that relative minor, and the 4 chord. Let's do that again so we can get it in our head. One more time, well, maybe 2 more times. Nice even number. I just want to get this really in our head. Also, it sounds really great. Just the 1 in C sounds good. One more time. Okay, let's take it to C Aeolian. All right, so now the 2 chord is going to be minor 7 flat 5. 6, A flat major, right? 4, F minor. Let's do that again, the second line. Again, second line. Just borrowing from that C natural minor. One more time. Classic modal interchange, and look what it gets us. It gets us those clouds in the sky. And those clouds in the sky, they make a big difference when the sun comes out. Let's try the C Dorian. A minor 7 flat 5. I don't like this one as much. It doesn't work so well with this chord progression. Let's do it one more time. Let's do the 4th line, the Phrygian. Check this out. This one I like. And the sun comes out. It's got me feeling away, this one. Again, it's so great because we can take that very simple basic chord progression, 1, 2, 6, 4, and make something absolutely incredible out of it. Just by borrowing from the C Phrygian on everything except for the tonic. One more time, and let's do it all again from the top. Last time on the Phrygian. Top. Here's our basic progression in C. One more time. Each one of these twice. Second line here, the C Aeolian. Borrowed from the key of E flat. One more time. Third line, the C Dorian. Just okay, not great. And the 4th line, the king, the Phrygian here. that one more time. Sun comes out. Good gravy. That is so much fun. Just take a second, shake it out. We've been playing a lot here. You might hydrate, you might inebriate, you might caffeinate, whatever it is. I know this makes people nervous, but I'm good. I got a big old mug here. That is so much fun. Okay, let's do the thing now where we're going to take this chord progression, right, and we're going to do the Kush chord game. So we're going to use, again, the same basic chord progression, and we're going to use those same modes, right? The Aeolian, the Dorian, the Phrygian, right? Those same C minor modes, but instead of borrowing from the parallel minors like that, we're going to borrow from their parent keys. This is amazing for me. This is like where I can write some of my best chord progressions. So if we look here, we got our C major, our 2 chord D minor, our 6 chord A minor, and our 4 chord F major, right? If we do those, everything except for the 1, we take to E flat major, 2 chord, 6 chord, 4 chord. You know what I mean? What about the Dorian? Here's our 1, key of B flat, 2 chord, 6 chord, 4 chord. Such great ideas. What about the Phrygian? Here's our 1, here's our 2 chord, the key of A flat. So we're like, oh man, we're shifting though. That's, oh my gosh, that's so good. That's got me just looking out a train window at some farmland, you know, questioning my life decisions. All right, let's try this. Let's play it. From the top. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 10. Start basic chord progression. Let's just do this twice. Okay, let's do our Kush chords to E flat major. Taking everything up a minor third. So gorgeous. Man. How about to B flat major? Melody here. Just having fun, kind of creating some little connectors. We're just thinking in the key of B flat for all of these now. How about our final line? Borrowing to the key of A flat major, the 2 chord, the 6 chord, dang, 4 chord. This one gets me every time. I'm gonna use this one. This is mine. I'm writing a song right after this. Let's do that again. Let's do that 20 more times. Woo. Top. Let's do all these one more time. 2 chord, 6 chord, 4 chord. Next line down, same chord progression, but everything except for the tonic is up to E flat. 2 chord, 6 chord, and the 4 chord. Third line down, everything but the tonic is to B flat. 2 chord. I love this one. 6 chord, 4 chord. Last line, everything but the tonic is an A flat. 2 chord. Let's do that one more time. I can just live in this last one all morning, actually. How good is that? Hey, you're going to want to download this PDF so that you can have a look at everything. I kind of like the way that we've structured this here, that I have this set up so that you can clearly see that we're in C major and then we're just kind of borrowing everything from E flat major. Again, this is just a great exercise to come up with some new ideas for your chord progressions. I just want to give a brief shout out here to Michael Keithson, who's a fellow music YouTuber. And he did a video on modal interchange where he referenced some of our Open Studio videos where we talk about Kush chords and modal interchange, crooked face chords and all that stuff. He did an amazing job and actually came up with some ideas that I hadn't thought of, like with the Phrygian and stuff, that I'm totally excited about exploring. So we're going to link to his video there in the description. You can check out Michael's video. He's making good stuff over there. Thanks, Michael, for the shout out there. And then again, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Make sure to download the PDF. You can go to openstudiojazz.com and start your free trial today. And I will be back in exactly 2 weeks from today so that you can check out some more guided practice sessions live here at Open Studio. We go live all the time, at least every other week at noon Eastern. So our next live guided practice session will be on April the 20th at noon Eastern here on YouTube. Don't miss it. And as always, happy practicing.